That issue of lone wolf, it's what the media is talking about when they refer to von Brunn, to the alleged shooter at the Holocaust Museum, who right now is in critical condition. A police officer he shot dead there. Another one is injured. But talk about this issue of the lone wolf idea. And we're going to...
Well,
go ahead.
Well, the lone wolf is a person who has been a member or associated with the white nationalist movement for a long time and makes a conscious decision to act on his own so as not to get other people involved in his actions legally. I'd make a distinction between Scott Roeder, in the Freeman, former Freeman member in Kansas, and von Braun, and the shooter in Pittsburgh. The shooter in Pittsburgh wasn't actually associated with an organizational effort. He just read white nationalist websites. That's different than the lone wolf theory.
And the issue of this report that the Justice Department put out in April, a 9-page report that was called Right-Wing Extremism, Current Economic and Political Climate Fueling Resurgence and Radicalization and Recruitment. It warned about the potential for violence from right-wing groups, fringe groups. At the time, right-wing pundits and politicians fiercely criticized the Homeland Security Secretary, Janet Napolitano, for releasing the report. This is an excerpt from Fox News of Sean Hannity interviewing James Dobson of Focus on the Family.
About the rise in right-wing extremist activity. Now, for example, they would define it as people that maybe think we're not controlling our borders, people that have pro-life bumper stickers. I'm not Ron Paul's biggest fan, but if you have a Ron Paul bumper sticker, you might be viewed as a radical by the government. And I'm thinking, what do you think of that interpretation, especially coming from a guy that started his political career in the home of an unrepentant terrorist who bombed our Pentagon and Capitol and sat in Reverend Wright's church for 20 years?
Isn't it interesting that the media has jumped all over this when there aren't any examples of it? There are no Timothy McVeighs out there right now. They're making a big deal out of something that hasn't happened and may not happen.
Leonard Zeskind, can you respond? I mean, ultimately, the pressure led to the Justice Department taking back the report.
Well, I had my own criticisms of the report, which was that the Department of Homeland Security did not make an analytical distinction between the types of white nationalists like David Duke, who are going to run for office, and Willis Carto, who are going to seek a broader majority, and the followers of William Pierce, the people that are going to be shooters. And that analytical failure led to, in my mind, an incomplete report. I think we can say that every time the government pinpoints the problem of racist, anti-Semitic, anti-choice violence, the perpetrators of it all scream, and the apologists for it all scream. So that's to be expected.